Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Is Brandon Walker returning? Nicole's sibling name-dropped at least a couple of times. Days of Our Lives uncover that Nicole Walker DiMera is right now lamenting the deficiency of her child kid. Fans are aware that Nicole's baby was adopted by Sloan Peterson Brady. During the beyond couple of weeks, Nicole's sibling has been name-dropped at least a time or two. With Marlena Evans giving Nicole treatment, might Brandon Walker at any point make a startling revisitation of Salem? Will Brandon assist Nicole with getting her child back? Days of Our Lives, Nicole Walker DiMera's child misfortune. DOL spoilers uncover that Sloan and Eric Brady took on Nicole's child. While Nicole demanded it was her child that Sloan took on, a DNA test precluded that. Obviously, fans realize that the DNA test wasn't done as expected with new swabs. All things considered, the clinic utilized an example from the pre-birth tests. Days of Our Lives, is Brandon Walker returning? The fact that Eric, not EJ DiMera, is Nicole's baby daddy further complicates matters. Nicole's brother name dropped more than once. Quick forward, Nicole thinks she lost one more child. In the interim, Sloan understands how she is treating Nicole is off base. Sloan is still keeping this huge secret, despite numerous near confessions. DOL, seizing and admission. At the point when Nicole seized Jude Brady, EJ persuaded her to hand herself over. EJ went with Nicole to the police headquarters to make sense of the special conditions. Nonetheless, Sloan is utilizing the intel from Eric about Nicole's child taking past to legitimize her own trickery. Sloan was going to exclaim reality at the police headquarters after the child's capturing. However, Sloan was prevented from telling the truth by the baby's safe recovery. Days of Our Lives, Marlena Evans treatment. Days of Our Lives uncover that Nicole might have been captured for taking Jude. Nonetheless, EJ and Nicole guaranteed that the lamenting mother would find support. Along these lines, Nicole will begin to seek help from Marlena. DOL, is Brandon Walker returning? Throughout the last month or something like that, Brandon has been name-dropped a couple of times. This doesn't mean anything, but it might give away a character's return at times. Additionally, Abe Carver and Nicole recently discussed Brandon. With Nicole seeking treatment, Marlena could recommend she encircle herself with family. Brandon has missed a ton in Abe, Nicole, and Lonnie Value Awards, last played by Sal Stowers, lives. Thus, perhaps Brandon will return to Salem to help Nicole through this difficult stretch. Maybe Marlena's treatment will make Nicole significantly more persuaded that Sloan took her child. Nicole really can't get anybody in Salem to accept her regardless of it being reality. Holly, Eric and Nicole think back recollecting Eric's supernatural occurrence salvage from Kristen. Days of Our Lives and updates bother Holly. Jonas will think back with Eric Brady and her mother, Nicole DiMera. They'll think back about when Holly was a child and Eric persevered relentlessly to save her and Nicole from Kristen DiMera. Days of Our Lives assumed dead. Nicole had been in the breakdown of an exploratory center Dr. Wilhelm Rolf ran in Nashville, Tennessee. There had been a blast, and they had gone with Sammy Brady attempting to save EJ DiMera, and Nicole was caught. Days of Our Lives, Holly, Eric and Nicole think back recalling Eric's Marvel salvage from Kristen. Rolf was exploring different avenues regarding rejuvenating individuals, and a few others were in the stockroom type building, including Ava Vitali and Tony DiMera. Holly stayed with her grandmother, Maggie Kiriakis, Eric and Chloe Lane, and Sarah Horton took care of her for a few months. The unthinkable happened after Kristen showed up in Salem. Holly was kidnapped and, like Susan Banks, fell off a cliff and was hit by the kidnapper's car. A while went by. A while went by and there were signs that arose that Holly and Nicole were alive, and Eric went looking. Kristen, Nicole, Holly, Tony, and Vivian Alamain were remaining in an enormous loft suite in Chicago. Eric finally found Nicole and Holly and brought them back to Salem after a number of events gave him reason to believe she was still alive. Despite the fact that Eric and Nicole ultimately ended up separating and getting separated, Eric was consistently father to Holly. He actually considers her a little girl, too. Regardless of what has occurred with Holly and her mother and her different beaus, Eric has been a consistent in Holly's life with the exception of when he was abroad in Africa. Days of Our Lives, Too Many Daddies. When Nicole leaves the room, Holly confides in Eric and expresses her wish that he had remained her daddy all along. Nicole had such countless sweethearts she'd lived with, and keeping in mind that they were great daddies to Holly, Holly realized they needed children of their own. Eric truly doesn't have any idea what to say. Then again, actually the men Nicole was all engaged with gave their all to be daddies to Holly as she grew up. He likewise ensures she realizes that he's constantly considered her his little girl, in any event, when he's been away or engaged with different ladies. From Beau's nap and Nicole's karmic baby woes to the Kiriakis shocks, we never expected. It's been a heck of a year on Days of Our Lives, but then again, that's pretty much just life in Salem. He worries because he can tell something is very wrong and Holly won't open up. The show got imaginative with things we never expected, from an eminent diversion that actually makes them scratch our heads to recognizable countenances springing up in completely new jobs. Indeed, new jobs for them. We got Beau and Trust's enormous return that immediately turned into their large exit. However, essentially it gave us a miscreant at last deserving of the Phoenix himself in Megan. We expressed goodbye to Victor in a progression of perfectly nostalgic episodes, and regardless of whether his burial service might not have been the great illicit relationship we would have wished, we actually needed to wipe away in excess of a couple of tears. Yet, perhaps the best thing to emerge from it? Xander isn't simply the cousin nobody needs, he's really Victor's mysterious child. Presently, if by some stroke of good luck somebody would let him know that. Justin harshly signals to Xander, who scowls at a stone-confronted Sonny. Bonnie sees with concern. Then there are the numerous retakes. Blake Barris made his big return, this time playing Everett, Stephanie and Jada's ex-boyfriend, rather than Nick, although we did get that up in heaven or wherever that afterlife was. Or on the other hand Bobby. We're actually sorting that one out. Jen Lilly took Teresa back to town, then, at that point, out of the blue, was supplanted by Emily O'Brien similarly as Gwen left town for a couple of months. Furthermore, poor Nicole got to remember her child trading days however from the opposite side. Toss in a homicide secret. At any rate, we believe Lee's homicide is as yet a secret, a few spoiled bread rolls and a young serum that could conceivably have been exacting, and in the event that there's one thing we're sure about, it's that 2023 was never dull in Salem. Peter Reckel, Miranda Wilson, Beau awakening in his chamber to Megan HB days. So examine our super recap of the most recent a year of Days of Our Lives in the photograph display, then toll in on the remarks with your number one and least most loved snapshots of the year. Constantine's physical issue crashes supper. Chad, Everett and Harris's unusual feast. Days of Our Lives uncover that it'll be the ideal opportunity for the Kiriakis family supper, so that will present to Alex Kiriakis' new demeanor. Alex decided not to go because of Maggie Kiriakis' comments about Teresa Donovan and Bella magazine. However, he will reconsider and decide to fulfill her Christmas wish. Alex and Teresa will head the party, where Maggie will spout over the fact that it is so superb to have the family accumulated. In spite of the fact that Victor Kiriakis died, Maggie will feel like he's with them in soul and that he'd absolutely love to realize they're all actually getting together to celebrate. To offer to set things right with Alex, it seems to be Maggie will give him an exceptionally unique Christmas present. Maggie might give Alex a vintage watch or other heirloom as a memento because she believes Alex is Victor's biological son. Obviously, that will prompt a few ponderousness among Alex and Justin Kiriakis, so Teresa will really regret their stressed relationship. Justin truly is Alex's profile father, however they'll keep on accepting the falsehoods that Teresa and Constantine Meliuni's plot have persuaded them are valid. Discussing Constantine, he'll appear with a stunning declaration as well as a present for Maggie. To compensate for Constantine's duplicity about the decorative spread from Greece, maybe he organized to have a genuine one sent throughout this time. Days spoilers say Constantine will create very much a ruckus when he winds his lower leg and requires Sarah Horton's clinical consideration. Will Constantine really be hurt, or is this just a ploy to get Maggie and the others to feel sorry for him? In any event, Brady Dark and Xander Cook will likewise be at the Kiriakis supper, so they'll help Constantine over to his seat after his physical issue wrecks the merriments.